All right, guys. Question number 5. Seth uses a computer for work. Complete the following description of the internal components of a computer by writing the missing terms. The dash transmits the signals to coordinate events based on the electronic pulses of the dash. While who coordinates it, we know, we should know that it's the control unit. The control unit is responsible for transmitting the signal, actually controls everything. This question is related to the computer architecture part of our syllabus. And electronic pulses of the system clock or the clock means the same thing. Okay, now say the dash carries data to the components while the dash carry address where data needs to be written. Now, when we're talking about the dash carries data to the components, whenever we talk about carrying something, it's the bus, it's the buses which are involved. So it's the data bus, and while the dash carries the address where data needs to be written to or read from, so it's going to be the address bus. Always remember, whenever we talk about carrying data, it is going to be about a bus. Which type of a bus? We need to figure that out based on the description. The dash performance mathematical, well, that's very simple. That's the ALU, the arithmetic and logic unit. All right. So next thing it says, describe the ways in which the following factors can affect the performance of his laptop computer. Number of cores. Well, number of cores, um, increasing the cores will make the execution faster, which is that is less time will be taken. Now, why is that? This is because one core processes an instruction at a time. So one core processes an instruction, or I think a better way to say this would be processes one instruction, for your clarity. So I would say processes one instruction at a time. So multiple cores mean multiple instructions being executed. So you get this? So simply, it's always like that your performance becomes better. Increasing the number of cores makes the performance faster, decreases the execution time. Clock speed, well, see, clock speed now again, increasing clock speed means more instructions will be carried out per second. Hence, the performance becomes better. More instructions per second, which means the performance becomes better. For example, for example, now let's say system A has a clock speed of 4 gigahertz. Now this basically means 4 giga instructions per second. And let's say we've got a system B, another computer, it has 8 gigahertz. So this means 8 giga instructions per second. So of course, which one's better? The second one is better. So system B is better, or I would say faster actually, right? All right, I hope this makes sense. Um, okay, now going on to the next part, it says Seth accesses both software and data uses cloud computing. Well, I think in today's age, cloud computing questions should be very simple to answer. All of us, we're using cloud computing all the time. I mean, Google Drives and so on and so forth. It's all that. Okay, now say two benefits of storing using cloud computing. Well, the first benefit obviously is that very easy to share data. Of course, very easy to share data between, very easy to share data between teams or people or whatever. So, data sharing is easy. And secondly, what we can say is that uh, data can be accessed from any computer slash device anywhere, basically. It doesn't matter. It's not necessary that I have to be sitting on my computer. As long as I can have access to the cloud computing, sorry, to the cloud data server, just like the Google Drive, we can just go on and quickly access it, right? Okay, so drawbacks. Well, always remember the first drawback. Whenever we actually extend our domain, what the first benefit is, sorry, the first drawback is always that increases security concerns. Of course, the problem is, and that security concern can be a lot of other things, not just security. We can also call it, privacy concerns as well, because we just did see, if I have some data on my computer, I am the one who has it, right? It's physically at my place. It's just is in my area, right? But the problem is that if I do not have it, if let's say I just upload on Google Drive, or on iCloud or something. We've got security concerns. I mean, I think all of you probably hearing this will be pretty sure about security concerns that have happened in with people. I don't know, celebrities and all of that, because their data got leaked, so on and so forth. So of course that's one. And number two, another point is that it is expensive in the longer run. It is expensive in the longer run. You need to pay for more data space. If you've got to increase the data space, you'll always obviously need to pay for it. So that's the drawback of it. Okay, now what does it say? Okay, now pretty simple. It says draw one line each term to its most appropriate description. Okay, so it says public IP address. Okay, now see, let's not even read the description. Let's think about it. Whenever something's public, just like maybe on Instagram profiles, they're public, right? So what's that? If your Instagram profile is public, what's gonna happen? Anybody can see it, right? So I think very simple. Public IP address is going to be something which is going to be visible anywhere, right? So pretty simple. Um, yeah, here it is visible to any device on the internet. So that's public IP address. Okay. Now, when I talk about private IP address, let's use the same example. Private would mean, again, just like your private Instagram accounts. You have a private Instagram account. That means that the content will only be visible to people who you allow. I don't know, your friends, your colleagues, whatever you've allowed them to follow, right? So it means it has limited visibility. So pretty simple. Yeah, it is only visible devices within the local area network. So just like your Instagram profile, it's only visible to the people you've allowed. That's just like your local network kind of. That's what your private IP address is going to be. Dynamic IP address. Well, in computers or just in general, dynamic means something that's always changing, right? So let's just think about what's changing. A new one is reallocated each time a device connects. So that's dynamic. Static means something that stays constant. Okay, we've got static, something that stays static, so it does not change. So static IP address. The best way to always answer such questions is just by trying to remember what the basic sense of a certain word is and just answer them. So yeah,